I had no idea how many people love this show. I would have been making content on it all season. I guess we'll have to do that for season 2. But I'm going to be talking about the finale, kind of doing the season recap a little bit and saying what I want for season 2. But before we get into it, go ahead and become a YouTube member or subscribe on the Patreon to be able to watch this ad free if you want to do that. Also, leave a comment on what your favorite part of this season was. What was your favorite moment of this season? So let's just get into it.
With our ability to treat patients, I'm not sure we could have saved Officer Stefano if she hadn't disabled the damn thing.
That true?
They saved Stefano's life. They saved a lot of lives.
Take care of this first thing tomorrow morning.
I swear.
Take the cuffs off.
Do y'all know how hot I would have been if they would have arrested this lady, if they would have arrested Mckay after she just saved everybody? I thought the show was going that direction, man. I would have been hot. But Dr. Robby was smart. He appealed to that cop like unity thing where he's like, hey, I saved one of y'all. And it's because she, destroyed the ankle monitor, was distracting everybody. So that was smart by him. Smart move, Dr. Robby. And while we're on Mckay, let's talk about this scene real quick, because that kid's acting right here, fantastic. Oh my God. But such an important message too. You never know where this show is going. You don't know if something's going to end up sad or if something's going to end up happy or anything like that going well. And so I was really happy Mckay was able to reach that kid for real, for a couple reasons. One, you could tell it was really close on her heart that she was just trying to help this whole time. She was trying to help those girls. She was trying to help him. She was just trying to help the whole situation. And then for him, obviously he's going through some things. His father died and all that. And hey, that sometimes can definitely break you. On a social commentary level, I'm glad they addressed things like that, like the hit list and, the toxic masculinity, all that. That was one of the most important storylines of the whole entire season to me.
Mom!
Hey, buddy, you're still up.
Yeah, me and Grandpa just started watching Planet of the Apes.
What did I tell you about scary movies?
Now, see, this is where I'm still worried about Mckay, because I wonder what this ankle monitor situation is going to lead into going into season 2, how it's going to affect her being a mom, her parenting, all that. I know there's going to be some drama. That's unfortunate. Next up, let's talk about Dr. King's storyline in this finale.
Give this measles kid to Dr. Shen and go home.
Oh, no, I'm okay.
You sure?
We've repeatedly tried to explain the importance and low risk of the spinal tap. I mean, the parents are risking their son's life.
Hopefully they'll come around.
And if they don't,
We do the best that we can. Some things are out of our control.
The storyline of this kid needing the spinal tap, but his mom is like thinking she knows better than the doctors and all that, was driving me crazy, because it's really a microcosm of what we see on the internet all the time right now with the just anti-science movement, right? Now, check this out. You should always do your own research, 100%. Always get 2, 3 opinions, all that kind of stuff. Because yes, doctors aren't always right. But that's not the case here in this episode. Just being stubborn, being ignorant. Man, glad it worked out. Glad the dad went behind her back. For real, was necessary. But I know this part just was killing Dr. King right here.
Take it out right now.
yep, coming out now. All done.
You could really see in this part, King, the whole entire season, something she was always dealing with was her strong emotions and how it was affecting her as a doctor. And you could tell in that moment, like, it was getting to her, but she still stayed the course for the patient, right? And that was kind of a full circle moment for her character. Great character this season. I love her. And then we finally meet her sister at the end that she's been talking about the whole season.
I don't know, I can't decide.
Well, why don't we do both?
Both?
Yeah. We can go out for spaghetti and then take a pizza home with us.
It's like after the extremely long day she just had, she still wants to show up and be there for her sister. And they just have such a wholesome relationship, it seems. And she just like really cares for her. You can tell because of like everything she just went through in the day. She's still going to go out to 2 different places, watch Elf for probably the 50 millionth time. And yeah, that great finale for King. Love their storyline in this episode. Now let's talk about Santos. So Santos's whole plot came down to interacting with this patient here. And it's not just the plot of this episode. This was a whole full circle moment for her character for the whole season. So her whole character this season has had bad bedside manner, kind of an attitude. We saw her help out that little girl patient who was getting assaulted, unfortunately. But in this moment right here, we're seeing, and we saw it in that moment too, with what I was just talking about with that girl. But in this moment, it's really this full revealing of completely forgetting about herself and just being there 100% with this patient, because it's something so close to home for her when it comes to suicide prevention. It's something that she was struggling with, and she was able to spot the signs in this kid, and she was able to help him out. So this was a touching storyline too. And so I think with that little girl in the previous episode, that's the first time we saw Santos's heart. Then once again, we're seeing it here, and then it ends up being in full display at the very end of the episode here.
I have a spare room with its own bathroom.
Sweet.
Oh, for God's sakes, do you want the room or not?
So Santos offers a room for Whitaker. We find out Whitaker is homeless right now. And yeah, so Santos is really giving up the most private thing, which is her home. She's offering that up to somebody else that she just met that day, mind you. And so yeah, that's just, you can tell that she's opening up. We're seeing who she is outside of that rough exterior that we saw the whole entire season. Now, as we move on to Whitaker, may as well do that here. Honestly, there's not really much to show with his character this episode, to be honest. Like, this was kind of the reveal for him. And I do like this as a social commentary, because everybody always thinks doctors are so rich, right? But this kid's going through med school. He's probably in serious medical school debt. He's broke. He can't even get a house. He's staying on the damn whatever floor of the hospital. Wild, right? Great social commentary though, and great awareness of that issue, because it really is an issue. But yeah, Whitaker, the whole season, we kind of just see him being timid, right? But being able to get through the day by day a little bit better as the season was going on. I think his character didn't really have a gigantic full circle moment in this season. I feel like he was kind of just this doctor who really cared about his patients and was just trying to, understand the ropes, see how it all goes, right? That's what I got from his character, and I do want to see more growth with him in season 2. Now let's talk about Samira real quick. So after riding the adrenaline high of the whole day, she came crashing down, which makes a lot of sense. And what's crazy about this scene is still seeing like the blood splattered everywhere. It's like it's cleaned up, but the remnants, it's not completely gone. And I feel like that symbolizes how this day is going to be for all the doctors for forever. It's not going to ever completely go away. The blood is on their hands. It is spilled, right? And so I thought that was a great symbolism there. But when it comes to Samira's character for the whole entire season, I love what they did with her. I loved how they were really focusing on, there really needs to be more doctors that take the time to listen to patient stories, that actually listen to them, that hear them, that empathize with them. I feel like that's what her character represented in this season, which is just so necessary. Like I said, I've been in and out of doctors my whole life, and it's hard to get listened to. Like it really is, where they're actually hearing you. And so I really appreciated that with her character this year. Now, another thing with Samira is she was saying, when she was riding that high of adrenaline, she was going to stay past her shift. She was saying that she doesn't need friends and all that can wait till she's done advancing her career and all that kind of stuff, which kind of then brings us into the storyline of Javadi.
Want to grab a drink?
Yeah. Yes. When?
Now.
So besides dealing with the pressure from her mom and needing to live up to her expectations all season, her storyline was also she wants friends. She wants to feel connected, right? And so she was finally able to get that in this episode, which was nice. That was nice to see for her. I do want to see more of the dynamic as she gets expertise, what the dynamic is with her and her mom. We saw that a little bit when everyone was rushing into the hospital. She's doing her job, and then her mom was over there micromanaging her. And she's like, I got this, basically. And then the mom left her alone. I kind of want to see that develop and see where that goes next season. Now let's go to something sad. I really hope that Dana does not leave this show. I hope she does not leave. So they already said season 2 is going to happen over the 4th of July weekend. I don't know what date this is specifically, but if that's way far in the future, months or whatever, I hope she's still there. But I get it. She said she was getting too old for this shit, right? Shout out Lethal Weapon. But she said she was getting too old for it, and she just didn't know she could do it anymore. She got punched that day, man. That was crazy. And that's another thing that I'm glad they brought up in this show. Violence towards nurses and all that, it's high. it's high. They got to like take that risk nowadays and over things that aren't even really their fault, like over understaffing and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she quits. I just really loved her this season and I hope she comes back for season 2. Now let's get into Langdon.
I was never high. I was just treating my own withdrawal symptoms.
Well, you should have done that under the care and supervision of a physician.
With that on my record, I could have my hospital privileges denied whenever I apply for a job.
No, that's not true anymore. That's not true anymore. You could have come to me. Instead, you could be arrested on felony charges for stealing controlled substances from the hospital.
This was the best morally gray storyline of the season to me, where it's kind of like House, if y'all have seen that, where House is, he's an addict, but he's always saving people's lives. So the doctors and all that kind of put up with it. But this idea of, you just had this mass shooting. There was 122 people, I believe, that showed up at the hospital. People are understaffed. They don't have enough people. So he lets him stay and do his job. Leave a comment on if you would have let him stay to do his job. I'm curious. Leave a comment about that. But Langdon does help, doesn't cause any trouble while he's there. He saves a lot of people. And now he wants to be a doctor. He loves being a doctor. He messed up real bad and he wants a second chance. We don't get a resolution or a conclusion in this episode if Robby is going to give him a second chance. But man, I hope he's back next season just because I loved his character in this season. But oh my God, I don't know if you can bring him back though. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. Now, let's go to Robby. So with Robby, there's this slow build up throughout the whole episode where he's cracking. It's just like a few episodes again, all over. You could tell this man just wants to go home. But thing after thing keeps happening until he has this blow up with Langdon, and it ends this way.
You let me down. You let everybody down, especially yourself.
Someone saw you in peds.
But Whitaker?
A night shift nurse. Saw you on the floor, said it looked like...
Look like what?
Look like what?
This job will fuck you up if you let it. You let it.
Yeah? I wasn't the one talking to cartoon animals and peds.
Fuck you!
Now what's crazy here, which Dr. Abbott calls out later, is that Robby feels like he broke and he let everybody down. But this man was just in the room for like a minute, 2 minutes, whatever. He can't even give himself that amount of time. It kind of reminds me like how in a prior episode he had to like go pee and he didn't go pee like the whole entire episode because he was too busy. It's like he puts so much weight on himself. But then at the same time, he's very lenient with other people and compassionate and gives speeches like this.
I can't tell you how proud I am of all of you. This place will break your heart, but it is also full of miracles, and that is a testament to all of you coming together and doing what we do best. We saw 112 mass casualty patients come through here in the last 4 hours, and 106 of them are gonna live. None of us are gonna forget today, even if we really want to.
Yet another scene that's gonna get this man an Emmy. My goodness, what a great speech, what a monologue. And then he goes from here to the roof because he just breaks and he ends up in the same place that Dr. Abbott was, I believe, in the first episode when he was about to leave his shift. And they just have a great moment together.
I think I finally understand why I keep coming back now. It's in our DNA. It's what we do. We can't help it. We're the bees that protect the hive.
And I feel like that's just such a great summary here. It's like they're all doing this very traumatic job, but it just calls to them to help people, to serve people. And even though it really destroys them on the inside, it's just something they are being called to do. And I appreciate the doctors and the nurses out there that do these jobs. Like shows like this really show what they go through and how hectic it can be and how hard it is. And I hope people get an understanding of that, for real. I hope they do. But I really like about this show how, yes, it focuses on the doctors and the nurses that are doing everything and their struggles, but it doesn't dismiss the struggles of the patients either. Like it really shows both sides of the equation. The people, like I said, the doctors and the patients. It's showing that relationship and that dynamic and just how stressful it is for everybody involved. Like the health field and medicine is just chaotic and stressful and just horrible in a lot of ways. But at the same time, they perform miracles, man. Honestly, like without modern medicine, I wouldn't be here right now. And so it's a blessing in a lot of ways. And so moving into season 2, Like I said, it's been revealed that's going to happen over a July 4th weekend. Also, it came out today, I believe, that it's going to be centered around how the Trump administration is defunding like the whole medical industry, from research to hospitals to Medicaid to all of that. That's what it's going to be centered around, which that social commentary needs to happen. Next season's coming out in January. Honestly, I wish it was coming out before that, not even just because I like the show, but because people need to hear that stuff. People got to see how it's going to affect so many people, especially people like me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, if something like the Affordable Care Act goes away, I can't pay for my $375,000 a year medication that is saving my life. And so we need that. People need to see it. So season 2, I'm hoping that the whole cast comes back. I want the entire cast to come back, and just still developing their characters, right? Like, there's so much room to grow here. This is definitely a show that could go season after season after season. Especially if every season's only going to be happening like in a day or a weekend. Like, there's just so much growth and so many things that could happen, especially if there's like time jumps in between the seasons, right? So yeah, like, I can't wait. I can't wait for season 2. Y'all comment and let me know what you want to see in season 2. But yeah, I really wish I would have been making content all season, but hey, I'm glad I got to make this video. If you happen to like this video, please, like I said, go ahead and join the Foster fam. You can either do that through YouTube members or Patreon. You get ad-free videos, early access to some videos, and some other perks as well. And it allows me to keep making this content, and you'd be supporting me, supporting the channel. So I would greatly appreciate it. Until next season, I'll see y'all.